Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Megan Bentley and I'm the events coordinator for the Elizabeth Dole Foundation. We are excited that you are able to join us for today's webinar series, the Caregiver Community Connection C3, presented by the Elizabeth Dole Foundation and powered by our partners at Wounded Warrior Project. We're also very pleased to have the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs join us as partners for this series as well. Today's C3, Maintaining Balance, Online Yoga for Caregivers, will feature Ellen McKay with Yoga for Caregivers. Before we get started, I want to mention to all attendees that this session is recorded and will be available in the Guides tab on HHCC or on our website. Also, we would love to hear suggestions on future topics to discuss and speakers to feature. If you have any ideas, please send them to us via email at events@elizabethdolefoundation.org. With all of that said, we will take questions towards the end. Today's moderator, Colton Whitaker, will be hanging out in the chat box. Be sure to submit any questions using the Q&A box located in the Zoom control panel. We will be taking note of all the questions to get them answered live during our Q&A. Today, we will be selecting several winners from our webinar participants during the episode. To enter into drawing, just engage with us in the chat. Today's winners will receive a free Hidden Heroes yoga mat or an Amazon gift card. Today's C3 features closed captioning. If you would like to disable it, go to the live transcript button in the Zoom control panel and click Disable Auto Transcription. It can be disabled at any time during the webinar. Now, without further ado, please join me in welcoming Ellen as we get started. Ellen, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Welcome today. My name is Ellen McKay, and I'm here with Yoga for Caregivers. I'm so happy to be here with you all today. I'm going to be starting out practicing in a chair, but you're more than welcome to sit on a yoga mat if you have one. We're going to start out with a little bit of relaxation and just kind of centering before we start in with our physical movement. So find a place that's really comfortable. If you're sitting in a chair, maybe you scoot back and just allow yourself to lean back against the back of the chair. If you're on your mat, you can even lay down on your back and just rest there. Listen to the sounds of my voice. We'll do a little bit of breathing, a little bit of visualization, and then we'll move on to our physical movement. So let's start settling in. Maybe take a couple breaths. If you're seated, you can kind of shimmy your shoulders around a little bit. If you're in your chair, allow those feet to connect down to the mat or the floor. Just have some kind of sensation underneath the feet. If you're seated on your mat or laying down, just notice the spaces that connect down to the mat or to the ground. And let's take a couple hot breaths. Nice big breath in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Wonderful. Let's do it again. In through the nose and out through the mouth. One more time. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Great. If you choose to, you can close your eyes or maybe just find one thing to focus on for the next few moments as we work with our breath. If you choose to close the eyes, maybe start to soften around the eyes, the forehead, the jaw. And if you would like to keep the eyes open, maybe just give the eyes a soft little blink and then let them just kind of relax and stay gently open. And as we start to settle into this shape, begin to notice your breath. Maybe you feel it moving in the belly or in the chest. If your back is against the chair or if you're lying down on the mat, maybe you feel your breath expand into that back body and the back presses into the chair or the mat. Just wherever you feel your breath moving, bring your awareness to that space. Feel the expansion on the inhale and that softening on the exhale. Continuing on with that for a few more rounds. Good. One more full breath. And then we'll start to do a bit of a visualization meditation here in the beginning of our practice. So see if you can connect to the sensations in the feet. So maybe the feet are connecting down to the mat, maybe they're connecting to the floor, maybe you can just feel the air on the bottoms of the feet if you're laying down. Notice this is a sensation in the hands, palms, and just begin to become aware of the physical sensations in the body. Maybe notice the neck, the shoulders, jaw, back, legs. Noticing the temperature of the air, the sensation of the clothes against the skin. And bring your awareness to your sense of hearing. See if you can hear anything. Maybe in your room where you are, or farther out outside of the room. And noticing if the eyes are open, maybe colors or shapes that you can see. And if the eyes are closed, maybe also noticing if there's any colors that you are seeing, even with the eyes closed. And then feeling that breath and the body all be here in the same place. Feeling that inhale and exhale. And taking about 5 more breaths. And really choosing to expand the breath if you'd like, maybe taking that full breath in as well as your full breath out. 2 more to go. Wonderful. So if the eyes are closed, slowly beginning to blink them back open. And if you're seated in a chair or lying down on the mat, come to sit upright. And if you're in your chair, just kind of scoot a little bit forward so you have some space between the back and the back of the chair. Let's start with a bit of slow, gentle movement. Just begin to roll the shoulders up and back. Slow, maybe small movements at first, and then they can begin to grow as you choose. Good. Let's do it one more time. Up and back. Wonderful. Bring the shoulders up towards the ears, give them a little squeeze. And then exhale, just let them drop. Let's do it again. Up towards the ears, and then let them drop. Great. We're going to begin with a bit of dry brushing, and you can kind of choose how far you go with this, but it's a really great way to energize the body, kind of wake things up, also to bring some sensation back to the body. So if you're feeling like your mind is kind of thinking of things outside of where you are, this is a really great way to come back to this present moment. So we'll start just by bringing the palms of the hands together and giving them a little bit of a rub, kind of creating a little bit of heat, a little bit of warmth. And then you're going to take your hands down to one of your legs, and you can choose how far you go down. Maybe it's more comfortable to stay by the knee. If you want to reach down towards your ankle or your foot, you can do that too, and just give it a good rub all over, so wherever you can reach. And then you're going to start working your way up. So maybe come around that knee if you're not already there, up through the thigh, that outer hip. Just some gentle rubbing, waking up that body. Good. Let's bring the palms back together. Another little rub. And we'll do the other side. So again, if you choose to come down, you can come down to the foot maybe, or the ankle, lower leg, and give it a good rub. Front, back, sides, whatever you can reach, up to the knee, front and back, give that joint some love. And then to the thigh, maybe to that outer hip area, bringing in that warmth and love to the body. Good. Give the hands a little shake. Shake those shoulders out, shake the arms out. Bring the palms back together again. And this time we're going to do the arms. So start with one hand, rub through fingers, top of the hand, wrist, and then up through the arm, elbow, upper arm, all the way up to that shoulder. Give that shoulder a little bit of a rub. Great. Let's do the other side. Palms together. And start with those fingers. And top of the hand, wrists, lower arm, elbow, inner elbow, upper arm, and shoulder. Very nice. Bring those palms together one more time. And you can choose to do this last option if you'd like. I'm going to give you two different options. So one will be to cover the eyes gently with the palms. If that doesn't feel right for you today, just keep those palms together nice and still. So maybe you come into that prayer shape with the hands, or you take the palms and just gently cover the eyes. So we're not pressing, we're just kind of gently bringing some heat, some warmth around the eyes, relaxing that space. And then everybody bring the palms back together in prayer in front of the heart. Take a nice full breath here. Maybe feel the chest rise up towards the thumbs, and exhale. Let it all out. Great. Bring the hands down to the thighs. Again, bring some movement into that shoulder space. Some rolls, maybe a little shake if that feels nice. Always remember to listen to your body. This is all for you. I'm just giving you ideas, and you can choose to do them or not. Great. Give those hands a little shake. Okay. We're going to do another little massage here for face, neck, and shoulders. And you're going to take the tips of the fingers and start kind of right above the eyebrows. So just give a little bit of tap above the eyebrows, so right on the forehead. And then take that gentle tapping down towards the temples if it feels nice. You can bring it across the cheekbones, just little gentle tapping down the jawbone to the chin. Good, then we'll go back up. So walk those fingertips up towards the cheeks and to the temples, to the forehead. Great, and then if you'd like, take the fingers to the earlobes and give them a little pull. And you can even massage that whole ear if you want, from top to bottom. Nice, gentle movement. And then take the hands down by the neck, give it a little rub, all the way down to the shoulders, and maybe a little squeeze if it feels good. Great. Again, shake out those hands, get some movement into the upper body. Let's bring the hands back to rest onto the legs. And if you want, again, you can close the eyes, but we're going to take the chin down towards the chest. Just start with a little bit of movement side to side. So you get to choose, nice and slow. Listening to the body, kind of checking in here. Good. One more gentle roll side to side. And bring it all back to center. Head rises back up. We're going to do a slow yes. So inhale, maybe take a gentle look up, keeping the back of the neck nice and long, and then bring it down. So just gentle up and down, keeping that neck long. Good, one more time. Good, now we'll go side to side, gentle. And no need to really turn that head very far. Just go until you start to feel some resistance, side to side. Good. One more time. Great, bring the head back to center. We're gonna bring the chin to the chest again and allow the head to go over towards the right side. And we're gonna stir the chin a little bit here. And you can notice if it feels better to bring the right ear more towards the shoulder or the chin more towards the shoulder. Find a place to pause. You can bring your left fingertips down towards the floor. Maybe they hold on to the chair if you're seated in the chair. Keep the breath moving. Full breaths in and out. Great, bring the head back to center, nice and gentle. And let's do the other side. Chin down to the chest, head gently moves to the left. And we'll do that little stir again with the chin. So you can choose to bring the ear closer to the shoulder or maybe the chin more closer to the shoulder. Up to you. Find a place to pause. I'll take a few breaths here. Great, head comes back to center and all the way up. Take those shoulder rolls again. Okay, let's continue to work on that upper body, just moving down a little bit. So hands again can come to the thighs or the legs. Again, if you're in a chair, kind of scoot a little forward if you can, keep those feet connected to the mat or to the ground. Starting by just tilting a little forward and a little bit back. So forward and back. Just getting some movement in our pelvis, tilting, getting us ready for some more movement that we'll be adding on. A little bit more forward and back. Good. And then we'll start that tilt of the pelvis forward and slowly lift the chest towards the ceiling or the sky and maybe take a little look up, opening up through the front of the body here. And then exhale, tilt the pelvis back and we're gonna round the spine, round those shoulders forward, maybe even the chin comes towards the chest. We'll move through those shapes a few more times. You can connect the breath, inhale, open up through that front part of the body, exhale as you round and stretch through that back part of the body. 3 more breaths, your own pace. Good, exhale, round, stretch out through those back muscles. Good, and round. One more time. And round. Right, bring it back to center. Bring those shoulders up towards the ears. Another good squeeze, and then let it drop. Again, up and squeeze. And let it drop. Great, take the arms to the sides. So we're gonna add a little bit into those cat and cow movements. We're gonna use the arms here. So turn the palms forward and maybe even turn those thumbs back a little bit. You can kind of feel the shoulders rolling back, a little chest opening a bit. And then as you exhale, we're gonna turn those palms down and maybe back, feel those shoulders round forward and round the back. So palms come forward and then maybe up, opening up through that chest and shoulder space. Exhale, we're gonna round. Good, let's do that a couple more times. Inhale, open up. And of course, if that doesn't feel right for the shoulders, you can bring the palms back to the hands and continue on with that same movement, just without the arms. Good. One more exhale here. And then bring it back to center. Roll those shoulders. Let's take the hands by the sides, elbows kind of towards the sides of the waist. Palms are facing forward. And as you exhale, we're going to press away. Maybe even take a little squeeze in the arms there. Inhale, pull it back. And you can even squeeze through those shoulder blades, squeeze through those back muscles a bit. Exhale, push it away. Inhale, pull it back. Good. Again, press and bring it back. Adding on if you like. As you press, maybe you round and really press forward. As you inhale, pull it back, and you can lift the chest a tad, press the sits bones down to the chair or the mat, and then again, we're going to exhale and round, push it away, and bring it back. And lift and open. Great, good. 2 more, however you choose, adding in that extra movement if you want or not. Good, again. And bring it back. And release. Shake it out. Great, inhale, lift those arms up. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Nice, again, lift it up. And in front of the heart. Great, inhale, lift again. This time, take that right hand down to the thigh or the mat or the chair and reach those left fingertips over. Keep pressing down through that left hip. Reach, 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 open up through that side body. Inhale, bring it back to center. Let's switch. Maybe hand comes to thigh or chair, or if you're seated on the mat, you can bring those fingertips down towards the floor. Press that right sits bone down, that right hip down now on this side. And then bring it back to center. Both arms reach up. Press those heels down, lift up through the fingertips. Exhale, hands together in prayer. Great, hands rest down onto the legs. Roll those shoulders up and back. Great, bring the hands back again by the side, just kind of like we were doing. We're gonna change it up a little bit here now. So you're gonna press your right hand forward and kind of pull your left hand back. So we're gonna alternate. Then we're gonna take that left arm forward, right arm pulls back a little bit, adding a bit of twisting or rotation to the spine. Good. Feet still connecting to the mat. Seated nice and tall. Good. One more time, side to side. Press that right hand forward and that left hand forward. You bring it back to center and release. Roll the shoulders back, shake it out. Good. Take the hands together. You can clasp them in front of the chest if you'd like. And let's take a little pause. Sometimes it's good to pause in between our physical movements just to check in again with our breath, our mind. So especially if you have the hands kind of resting on the chest here, maybe you can feel the chest rise up to meet the hands as you inhale. You might even be able to feel the rhythm of your heartbeat. Just one more breath of pause. Great. On the inhale, you're going to press your hands away. So turn those palms to face away from you and reach, press, press, press. Good. Inhale, bring it back to the heart. Exhale, pressed away. Inhale, bring it. One more time like that. Exhale, pressed away. Inhale, bring it in. Good. Adding on if you choose. As you press away, again, you can round that upper back, pull the belly in, and then bring it back. Hands back to the chest as you inhale. Maybe you feel the chest rise up to meet the hands. Exhale, press away and round. Inhale, bring it back in, chest may rise. Good, exhale, around. And bring it back. Good. Round. And bring it back. Nice, release the hands down. Give them a good little shake. Inhale, hands rise. This time we're going to twist. So you can take that right hand down to the side of the mat. Maybe you grab the chair if you're seated, and the left hand can either connect to that left leg, or if it feels okay, you can cross over. Stay nice and tall with the spine, really, really lifting. If those feet are connected to the mat, feel the feet press down gently. Inhale, hands rise. Let's try the other side over to the left. So that left hand can come down to the chair, behind, whatever feels good. Right arm can cross over if you want. Lift tall. And twist, keep that breath going. Good. One more. Great. Exhale, unwind. Shake it out. Let's add a little more twisting. Inhale, hands lift up. We're going to take both hands down to the left. And if it's okay with you, you can even choose to follow those hands with the eyes up and over like a rainbow. And then over to that right side. And then we'll switch again, take it up. And over to the left. Good. And over to the right. One more time each side, up. And over to the left. Right, and up. And over to the right. All right, bring it back up towards the ceiling. Take those hands down to the thighs. Lift up nice and tall, especially if you're seated in a chair, maybe those feet press down towards the mat. We're gonna take a little bit of a lean forward. Hands are gonna stay on the thighs for now. As you lean forward, feel the belly hugging in to support the back. So we want to start to work on those stabilizing muscles, those core muscles. Good. And then come back up, upright. Great, we're gonna tilt forward again. If you choose, you can keep your left hand here on your thigh. If it feels okay, you can even bring your forearms down to your thighs. We're gonna let that right arm reach out to the side. And you can choose to take this right arm as far up as you like, as far as it works for that shoulder. Sweep that right arm out and maybe up. Finding another bit of a twist and then taking it down. Good. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Inhale if you want to lift. Exhale, bring it back to that starting shape again. And bring it down. Good. Let's switch sides. So maybe right hand comes to the thigh, or if you'd like, that forearm can come down. Left hand's going to sweep out. And maybe that left side needs something a little bit different. Change it up. However it works for this side of the body. Adding breath together if you choose. Good, let's do 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Again. And exhale. Great, bring it back to center. Press into those thighs to rise back up. Roll the shoulders up and back. Let's take another tilt forward. Again, pressing into the feet, feeling that belly lift in and up. You can stay right here with the hands on the thighs. If you want to add a little more strengthening here for those core muscles, you can take one arm back or both arms back. Reach through those fingertips, strengthen through those back muscles, feel the belly hug in, those feet are pressing down, and we'll add some movement if you choose. So again, maybe those hands stay on the thighs. Or if you'd like, inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, we're going to come forward to that tilt and pause. Good, hands can always stay on the thighs. Inhale, you can reach them up. Exhale, bring them back to the thighs as you lean forward. Find your choice. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, come to that half fold one more time. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale. Great, hands come to the thighs. Find your way back up. We're gonna take those feet a little bit wider. So if you're seated on the mat, go ahead and take those legs out wide, like a wide V. And hands come again to the thighs, and we'll start with those rocks again, forward and back. So just kind of preparing our body for the next movement that we're going to do. Keep that rock going forward and back. You can really kind of choose how far you go. Great. And then we're going to take that tilt forward. So maybe this is a good stopping place for you. If you want to go a little bit farther, you can bring the forearms down to the thighs. You can even bring fingertips down to yoga blocks or anything that you have. Or maybe those fingertips come down towards the floor. We'll take about 3 more breaths wherever you choose to be. Big full breaths in and out. One more. Bring the hands back to the thighs, press into those thighs, rise all the way up. Great, roll the shoulders up and back. Nice. If you choose, we're gonna come to stand. And you can definitely keep the chair. I would just use it, move it a little bit to the side. You might need it for some balance. So you've been sitting for a little while, maybe take a moment, circle one ankle and then the other, getting some movement in here for the lower legs, the lower body. Good. Let's connect to our feet again. Coming into mountain pose. Feet are about hip distance apart. And maybe take a look down at your feet and see if you can have them kind of maybe facing in the same direction, or at least kind of mirroring each other. Feels better to have the toes out a little bit wider. That might feel more stable. Go for it. Hands can always stay in the chair. You can always use a wall for some stability. If you want to try to bring the hands together in prayer, you can do that too. And I just want you to connect to the feelings of the feet on the floor. So just notice the toes, the heels, the arches. Almost feel like you could breathe up through the feet, all the way up through the body, all the way to the top of the head. And then exhale, that breath moves all the way back down. Inhale, feeling that breath move upward. And exhale all the way down. Good. One more time, feeling that breath move up from the feet all the way up to the top of the head. And then exhale. Send it back down. Great. We'll add a little more balance here. As always, feel free to use the chair. We're just going to start by bringing up one heel and then the other. So one heel and then the other, kind of switching back and forth, almost like you're marching a little bit. Yep. And then if you want, you can bring both heels up at the same time and down. Kind of finding your best option here. And maybe even you choose to stay up on those heels for a breath and slowly lower. 1, 2. So kind of building up on that balance. If you want, lift it up and then lower it down. There you go. Again, lift it up and lower it down. Great. Shake it up. We'll add a little more balancing here. Again, always feel free to use your chair. We're going to start with some marching. So just start with your legs first. We'll add the arms in a moment if you'd like. So just march one foot and then the other, kind of feeling that changing of balance from side to side. Good. And if your balance feels okay here, we're going to take one arm up and then the other. So again, we're just kind of marching, right? Just marching, one arm up and then the other, definitely adding some more balance, increasing the heart rate. And if you want even more challenge today, you're feeling feisty, try to slow it down. Doesn't have to be as slow as mine, but just slowing it down maybe one notch and seeing how that changes the balance in the body, how that works those stabilizer muscles all through the feet and the legs, the core, the back. Good. Maybe you can even pause for a little bit and then pause for a little bit. Those toes can always stay on the mat. Good. One more time each side, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and then release it down. Shake it out. Great. Use the chair if you'd like. You're going to face the chair. Again, feet are about hip distance. Feel that length in the spine, lift up really, really tall. Maybe hands come to the chair. If you choose, exhale, we're going to start to fold forward. Good. Adjust as you like. Maybe it feels okay to take the hands to the thighs, maybe even the shins. Always have a little bit of a bend in the knee. Head can be heavy. Starting to stretch those muscles along the back and the backs of the legs. One more breath. Great. Bring the hands back to the thighs or back to the chair. Bend those knees, press into the heels, rise up nice and strong. Roll the shoulders up and back. Great. Trying to connect a little bit of breath and movement together. I'm going to move my chair a bit to the side so I can use it here for balance if I'd like. We're going to take the left foot forward and the right foot back. And again, you can choose to add these arm movements in if you want. We'll start here. Legs are straightish. Head is nice and lifted. Arms are by the sides. Inhale, you can take one arm up and use that chair for balance if you'd like, or you can take up both arms. Exhale, we're going to bend that left knee a little bit. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, arms come down. Okay, let's try it again. Inhale, arm lift. Exhale, knee bends. Inhale, leg straightens. Exhale, arm down. 2 more times. Inhale to lift. Exhale to bend. Inhale to straighten. Exhale, arm down. Good. 1 more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, arm down. Great. Let's switch sides. So now the right foot is forward, left foot is back. Same movements, just on the other side. Inhale, one or both arms can rise. Exhale, right knee bends. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, release it down. So if it's uncomfortable for you to connect breath and movement together, just make the shapes, let the breath flow. I'm going to do this 2 more times. Good. 1 more. And release. Great. Bring both feet back underneath you. Get nice and stable. Shake it out 1 more time. Fantastic. Finding your way back to a seated position. So if you want to get back into your chair, go for it. If you want to come back onto the mat, you can do that too. Just back just a little bit. There we go. All right. So once you find that comfortable seated position, whatever that means for you, roll the shoulders up and back. Great. Let's take those palms together again. Give them a good little rub. And then just pause, keeping those palms together. Maybe feeling that warmth of the hands. And letting the hands come down to the legs. Very nice. So we'll move into our relaxation section here. You can lean back on the chair. Again, if you're going to stay in the chair, that's a great option. If you're on the mat, maybe you lay down in the back onto the mat, finding your most comfortable shape. Wherever you are, take these first couple breaths just to settle in. So maybe you roll the shoulders around a bit, let the eyes gently close. Feel the legs and feet be heavy, relaxed. Take a moment to feel those face muscles soften around the eyes, jaw, neck. And bring your awareness back to the breath. For me, breath is one of the greatest tools that I've learned in my yoga practice to help with stress and to relieve tension. So we'll start with an even breath, if that feels okay for you. Inhaling for maybe a count of 2 or 4, and exhaling for that same count. So maybe we inhale 2, exhale 2. If you'd like to take it a little bit longer, you can inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4. finding your own pace of breath. Again, eyes can be closed if you choose. And if you notice the mind wandering, it can help to count that breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. Just kind of helps to keep all parts of you in the same place at the same time. Let's do that 2 more rounds. And if it feels nice, you can even try to extend that exhale a little bit longer. So if your inhale was a 2, maybe your exhale can be a 3 or a 4. So just try that out if you'd like, taking that exhale just a little bit longer. As we lengthen the exhales, kind of reminds our body to switch on that relaxation response, releasing tension from the muscles, and helping the whole body to just come back to that place of balance and center. 3 more rounds of breath, however you choose. And then just letting the breath naturally flow. So letting go of any control of the breath here, just letting the body do its thing. And bring your awareness down to the soles of the feet. Imagining as if there is a warm, healing light on those feet. And with every breath that you breathe in, that light slowly moves through the body, bringing in healing, bringing in relaxation, moving through the legs, up through the hips, around the back and belly, arms, shoulders, neck, muscles in the face, whole body. That healing light shines on every single cell. Slowly bringing a little movement back to the body, maybe wiggling fingers and toes. Deepening the breath slightly. Gently begin to bring the palms back together. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today.
Awesome. Thank you, Ellen. I already feel more relaxed already. We did have a couple questions come in the chat kind of while the session was going on. So I'll go ahead and kick us off with those.
Great.
So we did have someone ask kind of in the beginning when we were doing the rolling of the shoulders. She said, if something clicks when I'm rolling my shoulders, but it doesn't hurt, should I keep doing it or should I stop?
That's a great question. So especially for any kind of clicks or sounds like that. It could just be your body kind of moving things around. Always pay attention to whether or not it feels okay. And if the clicking starts to bother you, just make the movements a little bit smaller. They don't have to be really big movements. Maybe just take it a little bit lower, a little bit smaller.
Okay, great. Thank you. We had someone else ask, they said, I'm not an athletic person. Will I get any benefits from doing yoga?
That's a great question. And I think a lot of times yoga, especially all the pictures and things that we see of yoga out there, it seems to be a really athletic thing, but really anyone can benefit from this practice. Even if you don't do any of the physical movement and you just do the breath and the visualizations, that can be so beneficial for relieving stress, relieving tension, helping with anxiety, depression, all of that, just kind of helping you have a more positive outlook, creating community, especially in these wonderful sessions that we do here. So there's lots and lots and lots of benefits to this practice.
Awesome, thank you. We did have a couple more that came in. Someone else said, I've come to these sessions a couple of times now. Is every session the same?
Well, we have been having Sonia and I both teach, which is great because we're both different and each session is a little different. As for myself, every time I teach, I always try to bring something new. We'll definitely always do chair accessible practice and a practice that's accessible for the majority of the population. But every session will always be different, at least especially if it's coming from me.
Awesome, thank you. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.
We did have a couple more come in. So someone asked, is there a certain time of day it's better to do yoga?
That's another really great question. And the answer is no. Especially as caregivers, any time that you can fit this in is the right time. Yoga can be beneficial at any time during the day. It kind of depends on what you're looking for, but so the practice, what you do might change depending on the time of the day. In the morning time, maybe you do a little more energetic of movement. If you're getting ready for bed, maybe you do something more relaxing. But the great thing about yoga is that there's so many different options and so many different ways to practice. Any time of the day is good.
Great, thank you. Someone else asked, when we rub our hands together, then we rub our legs. I felt a comforting, cooling feeling on my legs after rubbing them. Is that a normal feeling?
Definitely. The act of bringing the palms together and then doing some rubbing around the body does a few different things. So it helps to kind of wake up the body a bit, bring some sensation and awareness back, which is really what we're trying to do in our physical movement of our practice, is kind of reconnect our body and mind back together. So whenever we can rub or even feeling the feet pressed to the floor, whenever we can find those connections, those sensations, it's great. That's exactly what we're looking for. We're just looking for more and more awareness.
Great, thank you. So mentioning of, certain times a day to do yoga, someone else asked, how many times a week would you recommend?
Well, it's really, again, up to you. It's great to do breathing practices every day, especially if you're feeling more stressed or overwhelmed. Taking 1 minute, 2 minutes out of your day to just take those deep, full breaths or some shoulder rolls, anything. If you like that rubbing of the hands and kind of waking up that body, that is enough of a practice that it has to be. It definitely doesn't have to be a 30, 40 hour long, but any time during the week that you can bring some more connection and awareness to your body, I think is great. But there's no required, you have to do this 4 times a week. Just whenever you're feeling like you need some extra support, take a few breaths and there you go. You did your practice.
Good to know. Thank you. So someone else said, I really liked not being on the floor. Is there a difference between floor yoga and chair yoga or just standing yoga?
There are some different movements that are available to each of those options. But as far as benefits, really it's wherever you are and wherever you can move and feel comfortable, then it's great. It's exactly what it needs to be. So wherever you're feeling great today, for myself, sometimes I prefer to sit in a chair. Sometimes I prefer to be on the mat. Sometimes I prefer to just stand. So again, just like anything else with this yoga practice, it's all about checking in with you. How am I feeling today? How am I feeling in this moment? It might be different tomorrow. It might be different yesterday. Just really listening to yourself and finding what's beneficial right now.
Awesome, thank you. So we did have just a couple more quick questions. Someone else asked related to the times of the week. They said that they're really stiff most of the time. So how many times would you recommend doing this weekly to limber up? And is anything too much?
Okay, as far as too much, if you start to feel some soreness outside of like gentle muscle soreness, definitely take it down a notch because we don't want to inflame any part of the body. If you're looking to become more flexible, a daily practice would be great, 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever you can fit in. You don't want to push it to where it's adding stress to your life, right? We want this yoga practice to be relaxing. But definitely a daily stretch would be great. And if you take a day off, that's good too. But just staying consistent, just like with anything else, when you're working towards something, being consistent is always key.
Great, thank you, Ellen. That's all the questions we had for you, but someone did ask a question. They asked if the session was recorded and where you can find these recordings. So the session is being recorded. All of our sessions are going to be available on our YouTube page. So you can search the Elizabeth Dole Foundation on YouTube. All of our C3 recordings are there, as well as our various other webinars. So be sure to check that out. This one will actually be uploaded later on this afternoon. So before we wrap up, I did want to announce our prize winners. So congratulations to Joanne Carter, Carol Peoples, Angel Green, and Michelle McLean. Congratulations, giveaway winners. Please just email us directly at events@elizabethdolefoundation.org with a good mailing address, and we'll get those prizes over to you. Ellen, is there anything else you want to cover before we wrap up today?
I don't think so. I'm just looking forward to seeing you all again next month.
Awesome. Thanks again for doing this with us today. So folks, if you're not already registered with HACC, we encourage you to join our Facebook group for updates. Our group is an inclusive community for military and veteran caregivers of all service eras. If you care for a wounded, ill, or injured service member or veteran, we would love to welcome you into our community. Just visit hiddenheroes.org/register to get started. Be on the lookout for a follow-up email from us that will include the recording of today's webinar, Ellen's resources and organization info, and the link to register with Hidden Heroes. Don't forget to register for next month's session on Tuesday, October 12th. Registration is required for each month's Maintaining Balance yoga session. To register, visit hiddenheroes.org/C3. Also, as a military or veteran spouse, child, parent, or friend, we know your days are packed with responsibilities. Would having an extra pair of hands help free you up to invest a little more time in yourself? Could you make it to that doctor's appointment you've been meaning to get to? Or sit in a park and read a book? Catch up with a loved one? Or just take a well-needed break? That's why we launched Respite Relief for Military and Veteran Caregivers, which offers family caregivers of veterans or service members access to free, short-term relief with the help of an in-home care professional. Please connect with us and take advantage of this free opportunity. Lastly, the Elizabeth Dole Foundation recognizes how difficult a time it has been for many military and veteran families given the current events surrounding Afghanistan. Please know that we are here for you and thank all of you who have served. Your mission mattered greatly. If your veteran is in crisis mode, call the Veterans Crisis Line at 1-800-273-8255. Thank you everyone for joining us today. And a big thanks to our partners at Wounded Warrior Project and the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs for supporting our C3 series. We hope you enjoyed today's C3. Stay in touch and have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you.